Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. In this video, we're going to take a look at something. I think what's going on in part with our reality is it's not just that the gloves are coming off and we are banding together and finding strength in our commonalities as the human race, as humans. But maybe the filters are coming off. That's what one creator that I follow on TikTok is talking about. I want to share with you via a compilation, but I do include her link, and we'll see what I'm talking about here. Okay, if the compilation interests you, as always, you can click on the Facebook link that will be in the video description box. It's not that complicated, and I'll mention where I'm going. But this is all from the platform known as X. So if you don't like to go there, you're just going to have to listen up, okay? Look at this. The Bulgarian Princess Kalina of Saxe-Coburg. This is a recent appearance that this princess had. And I found this on this platform. Again, I mentioned that it was X. The creator is Hilarion. Or Hilarion, however you would say that. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, because I follow her and enjoy what she creates and works. She's a joy-filled army wife, patriot, quantum grid worker, soul name Hilarion, Arcturian frequency awakened by the divine within in 2013. Our so-called junk DNA, LOL. That's her description of herself. Anyway, there's some pictures here on this post of this princess from Bulgaria. Now, there's an explanation for why this princess looks the way they do. Stay with me here, folks. Okay, according to her, without the technology, will Team Dark be able to hold form? Now, we've talked about that before, how as our world gets lighter, brighter, and the frequency goes up, the form is getting more difficult for things that are appearing other than they really are to hold. I think that's why we're seeing them fade. The AI was animating their DNA as it was fully assimilated. They are one with the etheric technology. They are the technology. Everything AI is collapsing with the false light. And I think she may be referring to some technology that we ordinary humans haven't yet had a chance to master, which is fine. Now, just a few years ago, this was that princess. Why the change? Why the change? And her explanation for this is not that there's been a replacement, that the ultra screens in the DNA are coming off. Look at his eyes, meaning his eyes, okay? All royalty are the AI technology. The same reason Buckingham Palace is falling apart. Plus, they always Photoshop everything. I feel sorry for the baby, and I do too. Any that are born into satanic, non-nurturing situations, I feel sorry for. So I wanted to do a tarot read tonight about that. It's getting a little woo here, guys, but you know what? Our world is getting a little woo, so we have to kind of roll with it. You don't have to buy everything I talk about or everything I read about. Just if you care to listen, listen, use your discernment. If it seems right, take it in. If it doesn't, throw it away. But as always, I will tell you to listen for yourself. Don't let anyone tell you not to bother listening to so-and-so. You decide for yourself, okay? Including listening to me. So we're going to ask about that. Is there truth to this theory that there's AI technology that has been bolstering up some false personas and it's fading and failing, plus other insights and information the universe wants us to know? Let's switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards and we'll find out together. Because I think what we're going to find, and again, remember, I use the tarot cards as an intuitive aid. So quite often someone said, why do your questions so often get the answer you're kind of leaning toward? Well, because the question was intuition based. So I suspect that we've been chalking things up to clones, clone fails, double fails, when actually that someone's been replaced when actually maybe the filters are failing for them. Won't that be interesting to find out? Let's do it. Okay, so in a nutshell, what we're asking is, are those filters failing? And we are seeing behind the curtain for a lot of either false humans or false females or possibly false males. I think it's more that they do the false female thing. Because remember, evil does not like the divine feminine, so they don't care to do a lot of reversals and have a female energy, even in a male package. So we've talked about that there's a war on women, and indeed, I believe there is, but those things are changing, and the divine feminine is present in male and female. We just have to all get in touch with it and bring this world into balance. Let's see. Filters failing plus other insights and information. By the way, my Tree of Life tabletop here is now sporting a inexpensive Tree of Life gemstone, if you're wondering what that is in the corner. And as you'll notice, even though I stopped with I left the cards in camera, then we'll never put out a video where the cards have not stayed in camera the entire time. Okay, we've got the Fool. Okay, then we have the Two of Wands. Again, we're already getting told that we're moving to someplace new that we haven't been before, which means wonderful things for us. I can tell you that already. The Lovers, look at that. Okay, more good news, the Four of Wands. Page of Cups, more good news. He's usually a little gift is on the way. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. If I have to sum up what I'm seeing here, again, yes, the filters are failing for those who have had a false persona out there. And so there are times when we possibly, in our naivety, have been chalking things up to a poor stand-in or lookalike, and maybe it's still the original model, but the filters that kept us from seeing them clearly, the scales have left our eyes, the filters have left their images. So it's a very exciting time to be alive and to see these happen, and we need to be braced for this. I've already in my own personal life seen someone's camouflage fail a little bit, a very nice individual. So the more awake we are, the more likely we are to have instances like that. Be prepared, be ready. Don't, be ready not to react in a way that you won't be proud of later. I'm going to just say that right now as we're getting this yes here and kind of moving forward here. Okay, so the Fool and the Two of Wands work together. The Fool is not a fool. It's an innocent stepping out in good faith and on a path that they don't realize they're not really ready for in some cases. So the Fool has some surprises on his journey, just like we do. Okay. The Two of Wands is also about stepping out on a path. There's going to be a little bit of rockiness to it at times. That's why he's holding a staff. So when the ground's uneven, he can maintain his footing. And that's why I told you, be prepared to keep your footing when things happen that are unexpected or have been previously only a theory and not something you've experienced. Now, in the recent past, we have the Lovers card showing up, just reminding us that as things unfold, and we've got a lot of celestial energy here. So again, as things unfold and our loving creator's plan is restored, know that integral to that is the care and watching out for the needs and well-being of each other. This is a good, balanced representation of divine masculine, divine feminine. And again, I think we all kind of know that that's where our world is headed. That's part and parcel of the changes that are coming to us in this age of Aquarius, and that balance that our world needs so much. So In the present, we've got the Four of Wands. There are those that call this the 11 and 11 angelic numbers. But again, another top look. Okay, you're loved, you're cared for. We're moving to a happy place. Okay, with the changes that are coming. And again, then look at the near future. Page of Cups is just telling us, you know what, guys? There's going to be some unexpected blessings or blessings on the way to you. There's going to be a nice surprise headed your way. The Page of Cups is talking about connection and guidance, letting us know, again, we do have some guidance we can tap into, even though we're into some previously unexperienced experiences. So use the guidance that's available to you, either through prayer, intention, meditation, people that seem to have a clue about what's going on that you don't, or that have maybe awakened a little sooner than you. Be willing to use that guidance with discernment. Okay. Page of Pentacles is telling us, again, this is our strongest insight card in this layout. And it's telling us that this is a worthwhile effort. In other words, as I've said many times, humanity is worth the battles that we're undergoing. We are so fortunate that we had that worth, and they didn't just delete us and start over with a new creation. And I think there's that recognition that we could have been so much more, and we deserve a chance to be. So don't blow this chance, guys. Please don't blow this chance. I don't intend to. I'm going to finish as well as I can in this lifetime, in this meat suit. Absolutely. And again, there's some tranquility headed our way, some peace. The war is going to end. We are going to have, like I said, have to get used to seeing some things in ways that we weren't used to previously. But look, we're guided, we're loved. It's going good. Okay, let's get a couple more cards. Again, talking about that setting out on a journey, new paths. This is kind of a worldwide thing. And as always, this card tells you, well, there are some things to worry about. There are some things that are still, in flux. There are some of our divine warriors that are facing some challenges. And so it's not all easy sailing. We're assured that the destination's worth it. But know this, the bumps in the road, they're minor. We're told they're much more than they are. Don't buy into the fear porn, reject fear. Live wisely, think well, and it's all going to work out in a beautiful way for humanity. Oh man, I love getting cards like this. It kind of restores my faith in the path of humanity and what we're doing. To recap, in a recent photo opportunity, there was a princess in Bulgaria, Kalina, who looked anything but a princess. It looked like I don't know, wrestler or something. And according to one of the content creators that I follow on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, that's because they have an AI filter that was keeping us from seeing them as they truly were. And that these filters, which are not of our earth and available to all of us at this point, are failing, in part because of spiritual warriors that are doing battle and helping to clean things up here. And we humans and our lovely Mother Earth is starting to ascend again. It's making it harder for those things to hold form. So I said, is it possible that, there's accuracy to this and that we're seeing some form failings when we've been previously attributing it to maybe a really bad stand-in type of situation? And we pretty much got a yes on that, just an assurance. Really loving cards showed up, really loving cards, letting us know that humanity is stepping out into a new place, a new era, a new time, a new place. And that we're like babies, but we're babies with some guidance and direction and loving oversight. I say that because in the recent past, the Lover's card showed up. Again, a balance of the male and female energy, which I think is essential and will be part of our success and our moving forward and onward and upward. And just a nod to the fact that we do have some divine help in the process. We were found worthy of helping. Thank goodness. Again, there's a partnership, there is care and concern, there is some firm foundations for the goodness that we're headed toward. And there might be a couple of nice surprises in the process. I like to see in that. Page of Pentacles confirms worthwhile effort. In other words, we, the human race, was found worthy of not just simply erasing and starting over, but having a chance that I hope we don't blow to get on the path we should have been on and explore our potential and realize it and cherish it and never look back unless it's just as, oh, we don't want to go there or be that again. Queen of Pentacles, sovereignty. Near future is talking about sovereignty and tranquility. So things are going to even out and be beautiful. Absolutely. Now, again, a nod to the fact that we're going on a new path. The earth is changing, and because of some healing that's going on, we are changing. We don't need to fear it. And this card again was saying, yeah, don't fear it. There are some things, there might be some bumps in the road. That's why we're holding on to those staffs when the road gets bumpy, but there's much less to worry about than we think there is. Okay, now I am going to have an afterword that you're welcome to stay for. It's not really political in nature. So if you were here for to see if there was a political aspect to this card read tonight, or see if it aligned with things you've been mulling over, this will kind of be it. You don't have to stay for the afterword. And so for those of you that are leaving at this point, if you're willing to receive it, I send you love and light and wish for you everything bright. Bye. Now, if you stayed, I didn't see a way to do a card read about this topic, but I want to talk about something. We've talked in the past, and actually there may be a way to do a video about it and include some tarot into it. Right now, I just wanted to discuss something with you and have it be on your mind and hearts. And, if it makes sense to you and it's something you want to, if it's something you want to add to your meditations, to your affirmations, whatever, feel free to do so. And that is the fact that we are told that we have been snookered often into we being the human race with implied consent. For example, when we buy a book, it was one of those workarounds that evil has done. Oh, you bought a book about zombies. That means you're giving us your implied consent to have that be part of your reality. Oh, you bought a movie ticket to see this topic. That means we have your implied consent for this part of our reality. Now, I've talked in the past about how it's possible and very good practice to recall, which means call it back to yourself, revoke, which means to stop it, rescind, which also means to end it, any implied consents that you've given. But how about, it just struck me, how about if we go one step beyond that? And instead of occasionally stopping and being mindful about the things we need to say, if there was implied consent involved with this, this, or this, I rescind it, revoke it, and recall that energy back to myself. How about if we take up a challenge to revoke consent for implied consent? Now, I don't know how complicated that would be, and there may be cases, I think, like with our little ones, they're at the mercy of their parents and guardians. So they their implied consent is simply because they're babies and they're not able to give an informed consent. So, but those of us that are adults, that are thinking, that are trying to grow and learn and be the spiritual warriors that we actually have incredible power to be, that was dismissed and we were told to disregard for so long. How about if it resonates with you, remove implied consent? I did it earlier today, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. It's probably imperfect, but I'll tell you how I did it. I verbally said, I was in the shower. I said, I revoke, recall, and rescind any implied consent that I've given through partaking in books, media, conversations, things like that. If my permission isn't expressed, it is not given. Further, I am asking for divine and benevolent off-world help. Remember, they can't interfere unless we invite them. They might not choose to do it, but can we extend the invitation was my thought. I said, further, I am asking for divine or benevolent off-world help in removing the implied consent that has been used against us so often, that wherever and whenever it can be done, only explicit consent is going to be validated and legal to use in this plane of existence. So that was how I did it. Like I said, it was probably imperfect, and but the invitation's out there now from me to the energy I consider to be loving creator, to benefit benevolent off-world beings, to, within their will and authority, remove implied consent that's been used to harm the human race. So that's what I wanted to do in the afterword, was mention that, mull it over. If it makes sense to you and you want to do, first of all, what could it hurt? And then with the, we remove that barrier of non-interference unless you're asked. We can ask, we've talked about that, about asking divine and off-world help in everything from cleaning up the oceans to what have you. Once we put the request out there, it may not happen, but the invitation's out there. So I, on a personal level, put out that invitation, and if you would like to, please do. Now, that's really it for this video. Incomplete, it's done. And I thank you for hanging with me till the end. If you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.